everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity to present today. We're going to give you a very quick 5-minute overview of the work we've done in Kenya with the World Bank and a host of partners that I know are in the room and part of the workshop today. Our work began a little over 10 years ago in Kenya, working with a host of partners to address the critical issue of road safety. I don't think I need to set the stage for this, given we all know how critical this issue is in the country. And based on addressing this challenge, we came together as the World Bank, both with our Development Impact Department, which is a research group, which we call DIME, the transport team in Kenya, the Global Road Safety Facility, and a host of partners within the ministry, NTSA, Kura, Kenha, the National Police Service, and others. And so this has been a long-term collaboration. This work has 3 main goals. One is to build data analytics for understanding the road safety challenge, trying to quantify and understand the context of where crashes are happening and the risk factors associated with them. The second is to build the capacity within institutions for being able to conduct and monitor road safety in-house. And so this is, again, a long-term partnership with NTSA, Kora, the police, and others to think about how we can better build teams, not individuals, but teams within institutions to be able to make use of data that's existing but not always analyzed. The third is, as a research department at the World Bank, we also aim to evaluate the policies and interventions that can improve road safety and what might be the most effective use of our resources. And so at the start of this work, if you looked at the top left-hand side of the screen, we started with these piles of paper and police records with the National Police Service and the Nairobi Area Traffic Headquarters to actually digitize a lot of these paper records and geocode them for the city of Nairobi. And building on this, we started looking at complementary sources of data, crowdsourced data where crashes are recorded on Twitter, for example, and working with other institutions such as Kura, who has some select video footage and CCTV footage of on roads and how we can actually extract data from this video. At the World Bank, we also have partners with a lot of private sector institutions, and there is a lot of open source data. So to look at risk factors, we thought with this enormous amount of crash data from the police, with data from NTSA and Kura, we can complement so much of this work with freely available data from Google, from Waze, from others, and how we can think about risk factors that are associated with crashes. For example, we know that speed is a huge risk factor, and how we can look at speed that are hot spots or black spots within the country. So utilizing versus beyond straight up focus. And based on all this work we've been doing together for so many years, able to leverage a lot of this data and this work together to think about how we can influence policy. And one of the more recent use cases of this was working with NTSA to look at risk mapping of crashes and identifying high worker. And this helps really in targeting the investment, especially under the National Road Safety Action Plan and upcoming interventions. Alone, thinking that 8 counties in Kenya represent almost half of the fatalities. In Nairobi, more than half of the fatalities are pedestrians. And this alone is such a powerful data source to see when we invest money, when we invest resources of our agencies and of the government, how to really target those to have the biggest influence on fatalities and crashes. As I mentioned in the beginning, a huge component of our work is to try and translate and build the capacity of being able to interact with this data within institutions. Mostly we've been doing this with the police, with Kura, and with NTSA. Really, we try and do this through a learning by doing approach, which is working together to generate outputs, whether that's dashboards, beta dashboards, or pilot systems, and how to do that with teams within institutions. We also do some training courses on data analytics, and these, you can think of it as a long-term collaboration with application hands-on sessions. And the other thing is going forward is to also think about how to embed this capacity building kind of model across agencies, and really linking teams within each agencies, these data teams within each agencies, on advances and innovations, as there's so much progress being made in the application of data analytics and research. In terms of future directions, we're working now to make sure that all of the data that we've been collecting is informing the National Road Safety Action Plan, both with immediate actions, for example, how enforcement locations are selected to be the most effective, and also long-term actions over the next 5 years, and how we can use potentially some research to think what's the most effective use, and what is the actual impact of some of the policies in the first years, and how we can look at that to influence the direction we take over several years, and how we can use data and research to really achieve the objective of lowering mortality rates. Just a recap of some key points: investment in data and analytics are so important for understanding the problem, understanding how to target and identify the opportunities for the best use of our resources. And a lot of this starts with designing the data collection, or how records are collected, so that it can easily be translated into data analytics, and also integrating existing government data we have with all the capacity of technology today and new innovative data sources that are available. And also, I know that that's going to be part of the workshop today, but thinking about frameworks for data sharing and data protection standards. And then second, we hope that a focus on building capacity within institutions to manage and use and analyze this data, so that it is incorporated into policy and project planning, is a big part of our future directions together in this collaboration. And then thinking more long-term, how we can think about research support from our group to support the government in thinking about how to actually measure the effect of policies that are going to be laid out in the action plan. So that's a quick summary of our work, and thank you so much for the opportunity to present today. Thank you.